typical, if my thing will work, it's not working. There we go. Typical needs and wants first. So we're going to talk about what you guys have, listings coming up, buyers needs, anything like that. What have you got coming? What have you got going? What listings do you have that need sold? Everybody's got something. We'll start on this side.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a fixer upper. I don't even know what it is anymore. So, so the front part of the house is a fixer upper. The back, it's a lot that they're subdividing during the last step. The city wants the owner to put a bond in order to do the sewer, and she's out of money. So, I mean, it's like so close to be 2 lots and get a lot of money out of it, but she needs to sell it and she's giving it for 400. And so it's in Salt Lake. It is in front of a busy street at 900, but the back lot, it wouldn't have to be a flag lot or anything. It has its own entrance. It's a really good opportunity, but it's for somebody that has the money and doesn't have to deal with harmony lenders and stuff like
Do you know the MLS number?
that. So 1985773.
Wait, you're too quick.
I do.
19857 19857.
1985773.
I've never learned any of my multi-use.
Well, this is because it's freaking annoying and I've been working a lot on it, but I'm really glad that it will be able to sell eventually, so.
Wayne?
I've got a home coming up in Spanish Fork. Great location, kind of up toward the canyon a little bit, but close to schools, sits back in a cul-de-sac. They're prepping it right now. It'll probably be 680 to 700, kind of depends on how things look when I go back for the second round. They're bringing in, you know, somebody to kind of spruce up the landscape, and we've got some work to do in the house, but should be a great listing. So if you got anyone in that kind of that price range, 700 range, it'll hit the market here probably next week. So
Awesome. Well, Christian?
MLS number 1982955. Got a 2-bed, 2-bath condo downtown Salt Lake, Zion Summit Apartments or condos, whatever. If you guys know where that is, right behind the conference center. It's capital side. It's listed for 435. We just dropped it quite a bit. So, as buyers, we're
Airbnb?
no short-term rentals allowed. You can do 6 months or longer.
Okay.
And then I've got another one coming up, also 2-bed, 2-bath, downtown condo right next to Temple Square coming up. Aside from that, I have a buyer looking for condo with Salt Lake City Temple view up to $1 million range. So if you have anything like that or know anything like that, got a cash buyer looking.
Time to start knocking some doors.
I
Yeah,
have to.
Okay.
If you gotta or know any historic or older homes, and they can be really rough, they can need a lot of work. Not more than an hour from here or from Spanish Fork. We've been looking at Sanpete County, Juab County, and some in Utah County. Just the historic homes, and they can be bad shape or good shape.
You
or
wanna
whatever.
buy one?
No, I got a client.
Oh, you wanna say you're
No,
selling one?
I've got a client. She was in this weekend, and we found one she likes, but I'm still watching for others.
She's looking to buy. Okay.
Yes.
I know somebody that's wanting to sell one. Like the listing. Historic, I can show you the photos and
Okay.
trying them over
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
So I do know of one.
Springfield would work good.
Yeah.
And she kind of likes Ephraim. We're looking down there too. And then land, if you've got any people with land, I just got a whole lot of land buyers right now.
She's got some land connected to a house in Salt Lake.
yeah.
What about
Land in Provo.
20+ acres?
Okay.
Farmland. I need farmland. And I still have that development land in Santa Quinn. Don't forget about it.
I have, this is Anna Marie. I have 3 acres up in Smithfield that we're trying to sell. It's all improved, well septic, gas, and power is all there. It's on the highway of Highway 91, so, but it is 289 down from 385, or sorry, 325. So that's been on the market since last August. We've had 3 or 4 people under contract, but it's been the lease is sorry, the lien.
Think we lost you.
That's 289, 3 acres, Smithfield, 6 miles from the LDS temple.
Awesome. You got a listing?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yes.
Photos for a listing yesterday, 25 acres of land listing in Wallsburg, but I don't think it's farmland.
25 acres. Kimball, did you have something?
I've got 2 buyers. Spring, I've got this one in California, and I've got another.
MLS is 1997033.
Townhome by the Payson Temple, price point?
So, yeah, they just went down the price 10,000,
So what's the price?
359.9.
359.9, townhouse in Payson.
Bedroom
Mhm.
for 2.5 baths.
Lisa?
Next week, 1 bedroom, home office, West Jordan condo, 275.
Nice price.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, Jeff, I have a listing. Can I talk about it?
If you pay me, go ahead.
This is absolutely a cute, darling house, and it's in Saratoga Springs. It's in Lakeside. It's right by Talon's Golf Course. And it's a rambler. It's got a full basement finished with a kitchen in it. And it's listed for $735. The seller is going to pay $10,000 in concessions for closing cost or buyer, buying the rate down. It's a beautiful home. It's got a beautiful front porch. It's got nice views of the mountain and the lake. It's not coming on the market for showings until June 20th. But they would show it right now if one of our agents have somebody who's interested.
Okay.
A separate.
Does it have separate entrance?
No,
Okay.
does not.
Anybody else online have something?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
So I have 3 listings. So the condo in South Provo, as far as we know, is okay for an investment for like BYU, UVU. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It'll be on the market probably Friday for $389. It has a 1-car garage. And then I have a townhome in Orem right by Target. It's 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath. Will probably be around the 485 mark. It has 2-car garage. And then later this month, I have a listing in Santaquin. It's on a 1/2 acre. It is 5 bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3-car garage, and a huge area for RVs or toys or anything you want. So that'll probably be around 800. We're getting an appraisal on that one, just to be sure.
Anyone else?
So I have one more. Sorry, Anna Marie again. So just listed $1,485,000 property up in Mountain Cove of the North Ogden area with views, unbelievable views, over 5,000 square feet. These people want to seller finance, and so they're offering 4.9% for someone who wants to seller finance for a couple years. But they're willing to seller finance all the way to 15 years. So, but anyway, that one has been on the market for a week or 2 and doing another open house Saturday.
Will they take an offer
So-
that seller financing?
Yeah, they will take a cash, they will take offers, yeah. Yeah, but they are offering that seller finance at 4.9. If somebody wants to get in, and it's just 20% down of their equity would be required, and then close in 10 days. It's basically super quick that way. But yeah, they're open to everything. So
Right. Anybody else here or there? Karen?
I have a $3.5 million horse property listing in Elk Ridge. It does have 2 acres on it that has its own parcel number. It's landlocked at the time being, so it would have to be somebody that, you know, wanted their kids to be living by them, or something which would, you know, would be a great, but it is 5.25 acres and unbelievable views out every window.
Wait,
Yeah, I do have a lot in, a 3rd-acre lot in American Fork. Really close to the whole commercial zone there, Costco and Home Depot and all that, just a few blocks up from there. Listed at 340 flat. It's on the edge of an older neighborhood. But it butts up to a brand new neighborhood that has, you know, $1 million homes in it, so great location, yeah.
nice. Somebody else?
Yep, I got one. Yep. I know this will go fast. It's a home in, the west side of Lehigh, off Pioneer Crossing. It's listed at 1.39. 7 bedrooms, 5,400 square feet. It's a beautiful home. It's only 7 months old. The people built it thinking they were gonna be here a long time. They're not. They have to move out of state. The only downside to it is the lot is less than desirable. It's flat, but it's just not landscaped at all. What was the other thing? Oh, I'm having an open house on Saturday. I'll just come look at it. Beautiful home, and it's solid. It's not a flimsy home by any means. The MLS is 2,469.
Wow.
There we go.
No way, you remember?
Yeah, I paid money for that.
I finally got a buyer agent contract signed with someone I've been working with for a year. He's looking around Linden, around 1.5 million. But he kind of wants like a bunker. So he either wants enough land to build a bunker out the back of the luxury home. Or there is a house in Mapleton that had what he would consider a bunker. It was like 1.9 and it was like all underground. So he felt like it was like a safe house. So if you know anything, it might not be a bunker, but he could use it as an underground living in his luxurious home. And he doesn't want high ceilings. You can't like have wasted space. It's got to
Has
be
he
more.
talked to P Diddy? I think he underground stuff in his.
You could buy.
It's hard, that would be hard to get a luxury home without high ceilings.
I know it is, and he doesn't like the high ceilings. But your listing that we looked at was reasonable, even though the high ceilings were a little bit, when you walked in, he said, no, he could have handled that, but he wanted more luxury than what that one actually was. And then
We
another
don't have a
buyer,
bunker though.
yeah, there was no bunker, and you couldn't really build off to the side to have the bunker plus the like luxury
Can you like
living.
break out the slab and like dig a new one underneath the house?
So
There
does
you
it, does it have to come with an Iron Man suit or is that?
Learn the bunkers, my bunkers were all otherwise.
Correct, just curious. All right, we're gonna move on.
Right.
Well, there was.
Our sponsor this today is Cove Cleaning. Braden and Ashton are here to talk about Cove Cleaning, and so they're our sponsors for today, so make sure and thank them. Give them a few minutes and then we'll always get another one after that one, so go ahead.
All right, we are both cleaning. Been around for a couple of years now, but basically what we do, brief, is we do residential cleans. So we'll do move in and move out cleans. So if their home's totally vacant, we can clean those. Or we can do it before like a showing, right? Like if it's staged, we can do those. That'll probably just be more like a deep clean and not necessarily like a move in or a move out clean. Obviously everyone kind of knows that like the verbiage is like broom free and free of debris, and that never happens, right? So if you ever need something more than that or it never gets done, that's kind of what we're here for. So we also specialize in like recurring cleanings. So if you ever have a client that wants to set up on like a recurring plan in the new home, that's kind of what we specialize in. We also do window cleanings. So you do inside windows, outside and screens. And then we also do commercial cleanings. So one time recurring.
What are your price range on the recurring ones? Just thinking closing gift type stuff.
Yeah, recurring, usually it's just per visit and we usually do weekly or bi-weekly. And those vary from 135 to like 235.
It's not bad.
Do you go to Cottonwood Heights?
We do, yeah. We service from like Weber County all the way down to Spanish Fork, and then in the fall we'll be opening St. George, and so.
What about Santaquin?
Yes, we go down San Quentin like once a week right now, so as long as we can fit it in, we can get them, so.
And what, okay, and one more thing, I'm on remote. I can't see the name of the company anywhere on my screen.
No worries, it's Cove, C-O-V-E, cleaning.
Cove Cleaning? And is there a number that you're showing somewhere?
Yes, we'll show it at the end. We can probably,
Okay.
you attach
Great.
the code to the
Yeah,
chat
I'll
after.
send all these slides out, so you'll have them this afternoon.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
VRBO same day flips.
Same day is tough for us. We do have like 7 residential teams operating right now, and so they're pretty full. It's kind of depending on availability. I would say next day we can sometimes move it around because we have more flexible clients. Next day, same day can be pretty difficult though, but you can always give us a tracking too. We can do. This is our just checklists that we do. Like this is our standard base pricing. So if we're not like doing any promotions or if we're not down the street, because we'll always do like a route discount. These prices here, we don't do man hours. We know that's kind of the standard in the cleaning industry, but this is for 2 professional cleaners bringing all their own products. And so it's $110 per hour for the team of 2 is how it's priced for a basic clean. And again, he'll attach these slides. Sounds like the deep clean do 125 per hour is because we pay our teams more, give them a bonus, and they're doing a lot harder work. Some of the wet cleaning on the blinds and baseboards. We know that obviously can make a huge difference. Those 2 areas is where we see a lot of like the listing work we do is on those blinds and baseboards that sometimes haven't been touched in years. And then move in, move out. It's kind of where we're obviously doing the basic and deep stuff, but that's where we're doing inside large appliances. It's where we're doing the front and back porch. If the home's needing like any pressure washing, we can do that as well. And again, the window cleaning. As far as pricing on window cleaning, that's super, that's not priced hourly. That's more dependent on each home. And so we send out our divisional owner for windows. If you want a listing that just needs a window cleaning done, you can contact us and get pricing just for that listing. So any questions about like the 3 different services that we offer for residential?
Do you have any licenses? I don't know, there hasn't been any for a while, but we may have them again. Distressed properties often need toxic things took off. Do you have any licenses to handle?
Yeah, we don't do any like super like crazy.
Old cars, oil.
Yeah, we won't do anything that has like any chemical stains. We're not like a disaster cleanup. Is that your question? Yeah, so we won't do anything that's like approaches disaster cleanup. We had someone call us and say yesterday, hey, we have a cabin in Park City, the front door has been open in 4 years. There's dead and living rodents in there. Can you come do it? And that's just not something that we'll do. So more of like, if there's any pest control needs or hazardous cleaning needed, you'll have to do that first, then we'll come and do like the final cleaning.
And yeah, is that for a crew? How many do you send?
Yeah, this is a team of 2. So
Oh,
2
That's what I.
price for 2 professional cleaners to come do all these things.
For like a 2,500 square foot house, just like an average house, how long does that take?
Yeah, great question. Like a deep clean, would you say?
Or just like the basic, does that take 1 hour? Does that take 2
Yeah.
hours?
We love to try to give people the best estimate. What we'll do is we'll look at like an average for that size of home, like at that season almost, and give you an average. I'd say for 2,500 square feet on like a basic first time clean, no less than probably 2.5 hours, more like 2 to 5 anywhere, but I'd say average was 3-ish.
I'd say 2 to 3.
I don't have it in front of me, but I'd say yeah, probably 2 to 3 on like a basic cleaning first time, unless it's obviously one of those houses.
And what if they were recurring? What if you came in, that first one was like a little deeper because it's their first time? And then they're on recurring, how much faster could they clean that home 2 weeks later?
Yeah, great question. Recurring cleans they're like a set flat rate that is priced less than like those first time, one time cleans. Also, because we don't have to do it by hour, it's a set checklist with a set price that we're coming in doing like that more house cleaning service. And so it does knock time off. I'd say usually almost like you can cut it in half in a lot of cases once it's up to the standard that we want it at. So
At 2,500, I'd say you're closer to an hour and a half to 2 hours
instead of like
instead of
3-ish,
plus. So,
can make a huge difference.
and then those are priced way discounted compared to the hourly.
Just a flat rate. Our service minimum is 135, and give you we won't go out there unless it's like an hour and a half-ish, 135, just to make it worth our time and everything, so.
Is that for two people?
Yeah, 2 people,
Always?
yeah,
Okay.
that's like our.
Can you throw out that phone number just one more time? I have somebody who needs help immediately.
Yeah, the phone number is 801
Uh-huh.
989 5890. And so if any of you want to scan this, it'll actually give you, with your camera, it'll give you the capability to add us straight as a contact right into your phone when you scan this
Got
QR
it.
code.
Yep.
You can save us as a contact, and you can text or call
Yes.
from
Nice.
that.
Good. Thank you.
And one more thing, you go back.
Yeah, so we do like perks for like realtors or different real estate groups and companies. So if you guys mention with you or your clients reach out to book something and mention you're with Fathom, you'll get 20% off of the clinic. So make sure you let us know where you're from and we'll get you 20% off.
Do you charge
and
extra
one
because we know Wade?
Yeah, if you're friends with my dad, you actually get a bump.
Yeah, extra 20% for Wade's listings and 20% less if you're not. Wade sold me my house, so I guess I have to.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
No, I'll plug them because we use them, and my wife, she works at the hospital. And so when I can get the house deep cleaned and she comes home from a 2 or 3 day, 3 or 4 day run at the hospital, she just loves that she's come home to this perfectly clean home, and I'm still married, so it's great. Yeah.
All right, that's a good thing. All right, next up, Kelsick Photography, Ethan and
Isaiah.
I always forget Isaiah. So.
It's a hard name to remember. People always call me Isaac. Yeah, it's just more common, I guess.
Well, like Jeff said, I'm Ethan.
Isaiah.
We're the owners of Kelsick Photography. We don't have a slide, which now I feel a little bit bad about, but hopefully it's okay. We've been around for about 4.5 years now, helped sell close to $2 billion here in Utah. With our photos, obviously agents do most of that, but we are full service, like I said, and what that means is we offer pretty much everything. We don't want our goals to you don't have like one photo person, one video person, and one 3D person. We're just all together. So we offer photos, videos, 3D tours, virtual staging, green grass editing, pretty much anything you can imagine. If you can't imagine it, I've already imagined it. And if you have, and I haven't, I'll do it for you. So we do everything that we can to help showcase your home in the best light possible. But yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be kind of brief. We're not gonna talk about all of our services right now. You're welcome to go on our website and check those out or ask us about them later. But a little bit about us. This isn't, a side hustle. This is our business. And so a couple things about that. We see ourselves as an extension of your team. And we recognize that like our appearance, our actions when we're in a home kind of reflects on you as the agent because you hired us. And so we have a guarantee that we will always be very courteous and respectful to homeowners or any other clients in the home and treat the home well itself. In addition, everything we do is centered around making working with us, that experience, as enjoyable and as easy as convenient as possible for you. So a couple things, we have a mobile application that makes it really easy for you to book with us and to get your media when it's done. We have quick turnaround times, usually the next morning, 24 hours. We have multiple photographers and we always have availability. And if it's not listed on our website, you can always call us and we'll find a time that works for you and make it work. We aim to be extremely helpful in if you ever need revisions or you have a homeowner that doesn't like one photo and they want something changed up. We're always happy to work with you and make sure you're happy with your media. That's just a little bit about us. What questions do you have for us?
Go ahead.
Right there.
So you spell Kelsick one way, but then in your email
Probably
it's
my
different.
It's gonna be this way.
Okay, it's Jeff's
My
fault.
fault.
I just wanted to make sure because I
What
added it
happens
and
when
I
you do
thought.
slides at 2 in the morning?
No worries.
I bet you wouldn't.
And we're gonna, after this, we're gonna.
We'll
hack
let
out
you know.
a little thing that has everything correct.
Oh, okay, perfect, thank
Um,
you.
Is there
Yeah.
pricing packages on them?
Yes, there is on this as well. Go ahead.
I do have a question. I have a house that probably will be listed, but not sure yet. And it's a disaster. I mean, the house is nice, but it's an old. We
No,
can't
she's hoping that you guys could just make it look good.
Yes.
So,
I'm just hoping that, so the reason why it's a disaster is that there's an old lady that doesn't really wanna move from there.
uh-huh.
And so so if we need to sell the house, then we would need pictures for it,
Yeah.
but she's not gonna move nothing. So I was just wondering if you guys can like remove the items and leave the house empty.
So that's a good question, that I kind of hate, but it's okay. Yes and no. So like, you look at these pictures on the wall right here, we could remove those because it's just a white, easy wall and Photoshop would be easy, but if it's like removing a whole piano or like a piano that has 6 laundry baskets on top of it, that's gonna be a little bit harder for us to do. So there's kind of like a yes and a no. If there's like somebody, punched a hole in the wall, we can easily make that look good. But for that kind of stuff, it is a little bit harder. If there's like a car in the driveway, we can remove that. We do charge for those bigger things. There is like a $6 per image fee. Just
Leave it unlocked, I'm sure someone will.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah. So yes and no. It kind of depends on how much we're talking.
She has like oversized furniture on her house and it's just gonna make it, I mean, it's not bad, it's just gonna make it so everybody's gonna think, oh, this is like a tiny home.
Yeah. And another question we asked, I don't say this to like, anyway, is the furniture gonna be there when the house is shown?
Yes.
So the only reason, and like, we like to like help our agents too, not just be like, yeah, we will do whatever you want, but I will also give you our professional opinion. In a circumstance like that, that might be hard just because people might not like that if they look at the
But
photos.
my thought was like, you know how they put like the picture and then the stage picture?
Yes.
So that was what I was thinking. It's
reverse.
like,
So we
can
we
just
can
put a
add,
picture
yeah, we
and
can
then-
add as much.
No,
furniture as you want, but
if
thank
there's a
you.
lot
And
of stuff,
take
we'd
that
have to
and then-
basically like virtually recreate the room and we can't do that.
So you don't do virtual staging?
No, we do. Virtual staging.
You just,
Yeah.
you
That-
can put, you just can't take.
But like removing something that.
We don't
look
clean up
at
houses
all.
on Photoshop, beyond like
So
a
it's easier
roofing
just to
line.
take the picture of the house the way it is, and then you have a picture of the room dimensions virtually staged. Next to
Yeah.
each other. Can you do
Yeah.
that?
you don't-
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, you
Okay.
can. What other questions? Go ahead.
Are you guys okay with an agent being there when you do photos?
Yeah, absolutely. We have, I'm blanking on the name, the little Supra blue box. So agents don't have to be there, but like, we work with Phil and he's there every single time. And, oh, he's not here. I just pointed to his picture on the wall.
Right, yeah.
He's there every single time. We love it.
So
So yeah, that's fine.
And you go from,
we go all throughout Utah.
Okay.
There, we do have a range of from Ogden to like Nephi, where it's no extra charge.
Okay.
But if you go out, like, if you want us to go to St. George, it'll cost a little bit extra money, but or if you want us to go out to Vernal, then it costs money. But we have like we're based here in Orem. We have like a 55-mile radius, and anything outside of that, it's 60 cents per mile travel fee. But yeah, Tula we go to, there's typically not a travel fee for Tula. We do.
Of course, yeah.
Any other questions?
no, but I'm excited to see your pricing.
Yeah, so
There's
Isaiah will
my
hand,
videographer.
so
Yeah,
Isaiah
I'll
will
hand
hand these
some
out right now, and we actually want to like,
And you'll have to look on our website to get like more thorough pricing. These are just some bundles.
yeah, so these are our bundles, we do offer all the cards, so meaning you can choose, if you just want photos, you can do just photos, if you just want drone, you can do just
So
drone.
if you do videography and you add the drone footage to that, do you put it onto like a YouTube link?
Yeah,
I
so
can
we
post
actually-
it And you
so-
put it to music
Yep,
and all
exactly.
that cool stuff?
Yeah, So
Okay.
instead of a YouTube link, you actually get, with every listing you do with us, you get a free marketing kit,
Okay,
property website, and so our property website, just because some places don't like YouTube or Vimeo or whatever it is, you will actually have a custom created URL that goes just to the video.
and does that have a QR code attached to it?
Yeah.
That we could put like
Yeah, you
on
could.
marketing stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a QR code that'll take you there.
That'll take them right
And
there.
that just comes with every single listing we do.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's free.
So today, we don't want to leave you empty-handed or anything. We want to win your business truly. So we'll stick around after, and whoever comes and talks to us, and we get your information, and we can create you an account in our system. We will add a free or a complimentary photo shoot worth $145 for your first listing with us. And I know you have a listing coming out.
Next week.
There you go. So if you have a listing,
This is next part.
so get this, if you have a listing coming up the next week that you're ready to schedule, if you schedule with us today, we will offer you, I wrote it down. We created a custom bundle just for this, where you can't get this pricing anywhere else on our website. It's just available today. We'll give you photos, drone photos, a floor plan, and a 3D Zillow tour complimentary on us if you book today. That's a $390 value. So even if you don't have a listing coming up and you have an old one that's kind of stagnant or that has been on the MLS for a few months and you want to test us out, even if you already have photos, ours will be better and you can have an awesome experience in testing us out. So
Okay.
we'll be sticking around. Please stay and chat with us. We'll just get your phone number and we can have you download our app too. So yeah.
Hey, I'll leave these.
Yeah, please leave us. That'd be great. And you guys, I guess, are sticking. If you want to leave, you can, or you can stick, whatever we're
We'll
going
hang
at.
out too.
Okay. All right, just a reminder, guys, as we move into the rest of the meeting, reminder, we've got our in-house partners, Veris Title, Brenda Hansen, she's also an escrow agent. So if you've got title, Kay's used her a bunch of times. I've used her several others, so she's really good. And then Encompass Lending Group, Casey Zimmerman, if you need someone, got someone with a loan need, contact Casey, she'll help you out. You'll notice that Dagley Insurance was not on there. And that's because Dagley Insurance was sold. So we sold off Dagley Insurance from Fathom Holdings. We sold it back to the founder of Dagley Insurance for $15 million. And so they're no longer under our umbrella. Doesn't mean you can't use them. They still have great pricing. In fact, I do my own personal insurance. They're really good, but they're just not part of the brand anymore, just so that you're aware. New agents. So we've got a few of these in house.
That means we need to change our affiliated
It does,
form then and
yeah.
get the new one and
So-
the other ones.
So
that
since
don't
we
show.
didn't know that and you did, will you fix that for us? Okay, so welcome to the team, guys. So I'm sure that we'll have a new one out for you. We'll let you know as soon as that comes out. I promise you will not be held back. New agents, Phyllis Ann is here. Welcome, Phyllis Ann. Lisa's here. Lisa Flutie is here. Ezra Reynolds, that's Tim Reynolds' son. Greg Apgood and Urena Swallow have joined us. And Karen Reed is here. She's back. Glad to have her back with us. So, agents leave, but a lot of times they come back just because you guys are awesome. So, and because we've got good pricing.
And it's good to see.
So this is
another
not
quote here.
called yearly dues. For some reason that's missed, but this is the current promotion. So if you want to help out agents, especially right now, dues are due and they're kind of hurting for, most people are going to be hurting for getting those dues paid. We'd love to have them here. Obviously, you guys know the pricing plans here are great for agents. But right now, if they sign up, they can get up to $3,000 cash bonus for signing up. And they get a $500 marketing store credit for signing up with the company. So if you've got anybody like that. So you gotta leave for 6 months. To get those, you've got to have 8 or more transactions during the last 12 months. So, but there are credits, you get free stuff when you come anyhow.
Yeah, that was fun.
Wow.
If you refer, just as a reminder, you do get $250 referral credit in stock. And you also get credit if they've done 2 or more deals in the last 12 months towards your cap for life and free for life. So
Jeff, can we share that on our Facebook?
absolutely.
Scott's Fan and Real.
Yeah.
So we can just get that off of your slides later.
Right.
Or if you need anything, I'm happy to give it to you. So I've got all kinds of stuff. Let's talk a little bit about the update on the NAR settlement, what's going on there, just a few things that have updated. Number one, rule changes, that changed from mid-July. We're now into mid-August, so NAR will implement those as of August 17th is the new date. There's projections that it'll get pushed further, but I don't think so. The state is tied into the timeline that the judge has as far as when those judgments go into place and those kind of things. So I think this is pretty solid. It seems like August 17th is a long way out, but it's really not, right? It's less than 90 days. So you guys really can start thinking about how your business is going to function after these changes go into effect. We also got news that the VA has come out and stated that if your clients are doing a VA loan, VA is now allowing the seller to pay for the buyer's agent. So that's allowed at this point for now, is what they've said. The government takes forever to put rule changes into place. And so they will be looking at this and deciding what their actual final ruling is and how that rule will work. But as of right now, VA is allowing that compensation to be made. So just know if you've got a VA buyer, they're not going to be out in the cold. And then NAR came out and clarified what working with a buyer means, because it said that anytime that you work with a buyer, you have to have written agency before touring a home, right? And so they came out and clarified that if you're doing an open house, you're not working with all the people who come in the door, right? And so those people don't have to sign a buyer broker agreement before walking through an open house. Same with if you're a listing agent, unrepresented buyer calls you and says, hey, want to see the home, bless you. Want to see the home, is that okay? Yes, you can show them the home, you can open the door and show them the home without signing a buyer broker agreement with them. That's okay, that's allowed, right? Because you're not specifically working with that client, you're actually working for the seller at that point, right? And so that was all clarified. Any questions around NAR? What's happening there? Anybody caught off guard that there's something happening with NAR? Shockingly, I actually talk to agents all the time that are like, I've heard something about this NAR thing. Yeah, that's a little tiny. It's coming up. Any questions? Okay.
Yeah, I guess,
Oh, sorry, one more. Facts.realtor.com for the updates. Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
what's kind of the, you know, cause early on, there was just all kinds of talk about how, you know, how compensation will be communicated, and any more strategies on how that will
We
play
have
out?
no idea.
Okay.
Still waiting for UAR to create forms and what that's gonna look like. There's talk about maybe having it built into the REPC. There's talk about creating new forms that would allow that. There's talk about having websites that would have that on there. Part of the issue is that you cannot in any way pull MLS data and then aggregate it and put it in with the compensation. And so in order to do it, you would basically have to have two sites, whereas a realtor, you list on two sites in order to do it. Right, and so there's still some technical things around this. I'm not sure what's going to come of it. Fathom's actually working on, I've heard that Fathom is working on a solution behind the scenes for this, but I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Well, so on our brokerages, we've got, even though they might end up being paid part by the buyer and part by the seller, we should put the highest amount or what we need on whatever form we have.
On the buyer broker agreement. Yep,
Or on the seller broker agreement
or on the
too.
listing. Yep.
So we're always protected and then can negotiate at time of offer.
Correct, yeah, because you cannot negotiate up, right? So if I put 2% on a buyer broker agreement and the listing agent is offering 3%, you're gonna get 2%.
The other thing is, I don't know, I've kind of been studying this and working on it on my own, and I did find one guru who seems to have better stuff than everybody else that I really like, plus some good forms.
Mhm.
But, this is a whole attorneys, the only one making any money off this is the attorneys.
Yeah,
The first suit, the people are gonna get something like $49.
$43 currently.
$43,
Yeah.
and if they go through all the suits, it's what, it's still under 200.
Yeah.
670.
So there's like no
Mhm.
purpose except for making these stupid attorneys who aren't very stupid really, rich.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna sue the attorneys because there's no one there to actually sue the attorneys, right?
It's so ridiculous.
It's
And-
impossible to have a class
But that-
action lawsuit against the attorneys unless you get an attorney who is a turncoat.
But it's affected the attitudes of our buyers and sellers towards us.
Somewhat, I've
To a
come
degree, yeah.
across very few people who actually, outside of the realtor community, who actually know anything about what's going on here. So you'd be surprised how few people understand what this is all about or even care. So I don't think you're gonna get a
Who asked
ton
me
of,
about it?
I don't think you're gonna get a ton of pushback. You will get a little bit of talk and a little bit of discussion around it. But I don't think it's gonna be a major thing where all of a sudden you're gonna see a whole community say, we're not paying any commissions.
So I did a YouTube video about it and I got some nasty comments. They were like, well, realtors don't do anything And so what I did, I was just like, I just started around, like, I am so sorry that your realtor didn't do anything for you. We're not all like this. Give me a call, you know, because my phone is in the video anyways. I said, give me a call or shoot me a text and then we'll talk about how we can help you in the best way.
Well-
And it stopped.
Great
So-
response.
Probably,
Yes.
nothing makes me feel better than going to a closing and having them worried about, did you get paid? And after all you've done for me, you know.
Yeah.
I will add to all of this that there is still one more component behind the scenes, and that's the Department of Justice. DOJ is taking a very hard look again at this, and they don't like this solution. They want actual full decoupling of commissions where a seller is fully 100% unable to pay a buyer's agent in any way, shape, or form. And that's what DOJ wants. So there may be other stuff coming down the pipe. Just be ready for,
But how would they
Whatever.
address that?
So the buyer.
They'll
would
just
roll
say
the
it can't
commissions
happen.
Into the loan.
we don't know.
Well,
Right.
then what you do?
If
is you go down
DOJ,
buyers.
DOJ makes that ruling and that's how things turn out,
That would be
it's
great
gonna
for
be a
mortgage and
total,
banking.
yeah, it's gonna be a
We need to
total
know that for
change of
30 years.
everything in the way that things are handled. So,
Well, the way I've seen the DOJ operate, I think we can have complete trust that they will have our interests.
yeah, they can take on our backs for sure.
Yeah, they do, with a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust the government, who can you trust?
Yeah, exactly. All right, a couple of weeks ago, we had a class, luxury real estate on that, and just want to pull out a couple of things that I personally learned from that and make a point on that. And these two slides kind of go over that. And this is from Brian Eisenhower, who's a real estate coach. He said that a database marketing plan with 40 annual contacts for one person should result in one closed transaction for every 7 to 10 people in your database. So if you have a good plan, a good marketing plan with 40 touches, it should result in one closed transaction per 10 people in your database. 40, does that seem like a ton?
Yeah.
A lot of touches.
Yeah.
So I want to go through what those touches are, right? Here's your 40 touches. So if you do 12 emails per year, so once every month you email your client something, right? You send out a direct mail or, I'll just say that direct mail, a newsletter, something like that may be a good idea. There's other things you can do there, but a direct mail, phone calls, if you call them 4 times a year, once every 3 months, just to say hi. And then if you post on your social media monthly, that's 12 more touches. So 12, 12, 4, and 12, 40, pretty quick, right? It's really not as hard as you think it is to get those 40 touches in if you're just doing a very few things to get that in. So going back to that, one closed transaction for every 7 to 10 people in your database, if you'll do those 40 touches. That means if you have 200 people in your database, you're closing 20 transactions a year just by doing those 40 touches. What does that mean? It's about $260,000 in commissions based on our average of $13,000 commission right now, right? So it's just not brain surgery, guys. You just have to keep in touch with people.
What level is considered luxury?
Luxury market is anything over $1 million.
Look at you selling luxury.
I'm in luxury, I didn't know that.
It's over black.
You know, I mean, it's so sad.
But I'll tell you that this works. I don't care what price point you're in.
Yeah.
Right? This works, right? This absolutely 100% works. This is how I do my business, right? This is what I do on a daily basis to sell real estate. It's the way that I make a living is by doing the 40 touch, right? And it does work. So just keep it up. All right, guys, let's go over stats. These are the May stats. As of 2 days ago, when I pulled this slide, we had 9,100 active listings. We're a little under that, but I think a lot of realtors are shocked to see that we have almost 10,000 homes on the market. That's a huge change from just a couple of years ago when we had 1,800 homes on the market. So that's up quite a bit. Our sold numbers in the last 90 days, we've sold 9,600 homes. And for the last 90 days, we've got 4,600 under contract. If you contrast that with March, we're up significantly in every area. So we're actually trending up really well on all those. I don't have an April number. Sorry, I've got a March number for this one. Didn't take a screenshot in April.
Is that all of Utah?
That's all of Utah. Yeah, this is also all of Utah MLS data. New listings year over year, April 23 to April 24, up 27%. So that's a good up. Our number of closed sales year over year is up 10%. Our median sales price is up 4.9%. And our days on market is down just a little bit. So we're actually selling a little bit more quickly than we were a year ago. I don't know if you remember a year ago, the market we seemed like we were pretty stagnant, right? It felt like it was a fairly flat market. Right now, the market is starting to trend up. We're starting to feel a little bit of that momentum started in the sales here. Falling prices. This is what I always like to hit on every meeting. I love this where you talk to your clients and they're like, prices are falling, or you talk to people who hear about the NAR thing. Well, now that NAR said this settlement, we're gonna have prices just drop through the bottom, right? We're gonna have all this.
I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, right. So this is our historical pricing starting from 2016 till now. You can see that we've almost made it back to where we were in 2021, 2022. We're trending up. And from 7 years ago, we've had 100% increase in equity.
Yeah.
100%. So if you bought a home in 2016, you've made 100% equity on that home, right? That's a huge change. That's almost 15% year over year. 15% equity growth year over year rivals a lot of stocks.
I was gonna say it's better than the market.
Yeah, so it's actually a really good place to be. You can see that since 2024, started 2024, got a pretty good trend line here going up. So that's a good thing to see. I don't think we're going to see any price decreases really, unless something major happens like a pandemic or something. Who would think about that?
But what happened to the pandemic last time?
Yeah, pandemic was,
I'll
if you look at pandemic, right? This is,
Yeah.
this is pandemic,
Yes.
right? Sold numbers. So this is number of homes sold and average price per square foot. So our sold numbers here, May is down because May hasn't completed yet. So we don't have our full numbers there. But for April, you can see we're trending pretty good there from January through April. I don't see that trend stopping. I think that's a pretty good trend line for what to expect up through the end of our normal selling season, up through about August. And price per square foot, our median price per square foot is also trending up. Again, it looks like it's trending down at the bottom, but that's just because May's not finished yet. Looking at Utah County numbers, specifically Utah County, our number of new listings year over year significantly up. So we have significantly more sellers in the market, which is a good thing to see. Our active homes significantly up as well. And our homes under contract are down a little bit. And I think that reflects buyer confidence, right? We don't see the buyer confidence. It's interesting, what we've been asking for 2 years is we need more homes on the market in order to sell. We have more homes on the market, right? So now it's just buyer reluctance and getting in. A lot of that is interest rates, right? And so I think with these declining interest rates, we'll see more activity in the market.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why we have more houses. I mean, I understand that it's because more people want to sell, but is right now a good time to sell them?
Yeah.
Why? Right.
Prices are up, right? I just showed you that pricing is continuing to go up. So in most cases, what you're seeing is sellers who need to move, right? You're seeing sellers who either need to downsize or need to upsize. Those are our two big numbers right now.
Okay.
And so you're seeing a lot of people come to market that have to sell, right? Now, if you've got a 2.1 interest rate or whatever, is it hard to pull the trigger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard, right? But if you've got 5 kids stuffed in a closet,
Or you have to
Still,
move.
I'm
still hard.
No.
But say you've got a buyer that's looking to upgrade, but they're wanting to just keep that 2% interest rate and rent it out. That is actually a better option for them, isn't it? To keep the house
If
that's
you can-
around
if
550
you can
and rent
afford
it
that.
out.
Yeah,
you
well,
afford
sometimes you can,
mortgages.
with the new interest rate.
So they might,
They need their equity.
well, you would think that they will have enough that have equity. They've got
just
a
need
interest
to
rate,
have
the rent will pay it. The rent will pay.
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
It's
it depends on
all about circumstance, so everybody's gonna have a little bit of different circumstance.
So I just bought a home this month and I sold my house, so I'll tell you why. It's because I see rates coming down, and the last time that happened, I saw prices go like this. And I had good equity in my house, and so I wanted to be able to take that out and get something that I could afford now, because my feelings of fear is that next year, it's just gonna cost so much more to buy.
It is.
And so I felt like right now is a really good time because rates are somewhat still high, but they're lower than they were. And if they go down, I can just refinance. And so my fear is that if rates go back down lower, especially as we get closer to an election, that home prices are just gonna go way up.
Yeah.
And so that's why I bought right now.
So if you look at any time since 2016 is besides our, what I like to call our dead man walking crash, right? Is there any point in time in there where you wouldn't want to buy a house?
No, I mean, buying always is a good option, regardless of your situation. You just have to buy something. But the problem is the selling part. And it's like, well, to me, but maybe it's just my mindset and I need to change that. I mean, selling, is it good opportunity? Yes, because of what he said. I mean, you right now can go into something better before it started going up a bit. So, yeah.
But if the rent will cover your mortgage, it is honestly better for them to keep their house
Right.
and not to sell it.
So
Yeah,
here's what a lot of people don't understand when you're buying and selling, right? When you're buying and selling, if you buy here and you sell here, you're just moving your equity over,
Right.
right? If the market is low and you buy low and you sell low, you're still just moving your equity over. So it doesn't matter if the market's high or low, you're still just taking your equity and moving it. Now you may be moving to a higher interest rate, but you're not changing what you're doing with your equity. You're never, well, unless you're selling here and buying here, right? If you've somehow got the ability to forecast that and to get into a rental for a short period of time, you're just going to be moving equity one way or the other if the market's up or down.
So maybe I need a lender, but I do want my brain needs to think out loud. So if they don't sell, though, yeah, they're not pulling out their equity. They've only got their, unless they did a HELOC on it, but they've only got their cash amount. So if a buyer does sell, they no longer have the good interest rate, but then they're also not borrowing as much. How do I get my brain around knowing what is best? Just say let the lender figure that out.
Let the lender figure it out. It's
But
not
you know,
our
I
job.
like to figure it all out.
Yeah, it's not our job, right? Stay in your lane.
Ask the lender what will be a better option, okay?
Yeah, that's why they're the professionals. They deal with money. My clients come to me all the time and say, hey, what about this interest rate, or what about this scenario, or what can I do with the HELOC? I'm not that guy, right? I'm the guy that can help you figure out pricing on your home and get it sold and all that kind of stuff. Go talk to my lenders. They're awesome. They know their job. They can give you exactly what you need.
Well, they have the software to run all the numbers.
Yeah, and the know-how and the knowledge. Right?
Yeah.
I'm dumb. I'm just a real estate agent. I don't know anything.
You're a real.
Wouldn't know.
Average-
You work it out.
Average days on, I might be able to work it out if I could use ChatGPT. Average days on market in Utah County is actually up significantly, year over year. Sold homes in Utah County up a little bit, not tremendously. And our median sales price is up just a little bit in Utah County. So Utah County is pretty flat as far as pricing right now. Not seeing a ton of increase, but a little bit, right? So that's just in the county itself. All right, my favorite part of this slideshow today is frequently asked questions. These are the questions that I get asked more often than anything else, and I have to put on my I'm Mr. Google every single time one of you text me or ask me this question.
One of my questions is up there.
Probably is, right? All right, so these are the ones I get asked all the time. Does Fathom charge a transaction fee?
Oh my goodness.
Right? My title company is asking what the transaction fee is. My transaction fee is $550, right? That's
But
what
we're not,
title's
the
asking.
title company needs to know zero, because if you're not charging.
Right, Fathom does not charge a transaction fee, so don't get confused with what your transaction fee is with us, right? And what title is asking about. Title's asking if we as a brokerage charge your clients a transaction fee. We do not. If you charge your client's transaction fee, that's up to you. It's just
What
additional.
about the
commission.
agents that pretend that the brokerage does? How does the title company process that? Can you just say, yeah, they charge
Turn you
$5.50?
in and call you as a fraud person. You cannot say that we
Oh.
charge a transaction fee.
Oh, so you do have to say, I charge a $5.50
Uh-huh.
transaction fee that
Yeah.
I'm then charged, but the brokerage does not.
We do not charge
You
any
cannot just
transaction fee. You
pretend to the
cannot
title.
tell your client that we charge a
I never have,
transaction.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, just for a friend.
Yeah.
All right, number two, how soon do I have to upload my documents into IntelliAgent? Or I have rejected offers, do I have to upload those? Or when do I upload my buyer broker agreement if we are under contract? So all fully executed documents must be uploaded within 48 hours. That includes you get a buyer broker agreement signed, you've got 48 hours to have it uploaded, even if you're not under contract, right? Your ERS, addendas that you get signed, anything that you get fully executed, we as a brokerage, we're required to have it by the state in our hands within 48 hours, right? If the division audits us and we don't, everybody's like, not doing this, right? If the division audits us and you haven't uploaded your stuff, we get fined for that. So please make sure and upload it. The biggest reason is that we will get, more often than I would like to say, get calls from other agents that say, hey, I've got a problem with this transaction. Can you please take a look at it? I'm talking agents on the other side of your transactions calling me. And I'm like, sorry, but
No documents.
Christian hasn't uploaded his documents, so I can't.
But
I
who
can't even
knows
look
his
at it.
MLS number?
I don't know what I'm looking at. I can't help you. I can't really walk through this transaction with you, right? And so that's number one biggest reason why we need documents uploaded quickly is in case we get a call here and I've got to handle it. I got to know what you're looking at. I can't have your back if I don't know what you're doing in your transaction. So please try to get those. Rejected offers. So you make an offer, those also need to be uploaded, right? If you don't go under contract, then just upload them along with that the transaction that doesn't have an address, upload them there until you actually get an address.
And you need what? To have separate transactions if you have a under contract and a backup offer. You can't put it in the same file. You're supposed to put them in separate.
No, you can certainly upload a backup.
Oh, you can, all in the same.
Yeah, you just upload it as a custom document,
Yeah.
backup.
Oh, well, have to tell somebody else that they gave me wrong information.
Whoever told you that gave you wrong information.
I'll
That's
tell you later.
All right, this is probably by far my most common question is where can I find? And that is every document under the sun. I get these all day long. The buyer inspection waiver, the buyer final walkthrough, the escalation clause addendum, the MLS change form. I'm doing a price reduction. Where do I find that? W-9s, affiliate business disclosure. 99.9% of the time, it's going to be an IntelliAgent, Fathom, and resources. So go to the menu, go to Fathom, go to resources. I'm sure, I would guess if I ask for a raise of hands, like 80% of you have this picture for me in your texts showing you how to get to Fathom resources, right? I send this out 3 to 4 times a day, okay? So if you need to know where documents are, that's where. And if you need to know where documents are, just text me, I'll tell you. I'm still gonna answer these questions over and over. It's okay. Once I have a listing agreement signed, how long do I have to put it on the MLS?
2 days,
5 days.
1 day.
I love it.
24
This is
hours.
exactly why I get this
24
question.
hours, Jeff.
24 hours.
5.
What if I can't get it on the MLS that quickly? And where's the form if I can't
Give
get
it
it
to
on?
another
You
agent.
need
I'll
to
take
put
it.
the
Okay, so
5.
So once the ERS is signed, you have 5 calendar days, not 5 business days, 5 calendar days to have it on the MLS. Otherwise, you will get fined by the MLS.
And when you, let's say you take all 5 calendar days, when it goes on the MLS, is it dated days on market as number 1, or is it?
Yes.
It's days on market number 1?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever, you've got those 5 days as leeway, whatever day you list it, that's day number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
There is an extension on it. You can do an extension.
So you can do an MLS exclusion form saying, hey, I need longer. If you do, And that's here. It's now online. You go to the MLS, you go to MLS forums and you go to MLS exclusion form and you just submit it there. But that says that you have to have it in writing that your client wants it off the MLS. So make sure and do an addendum to the ERS that says we're keeping this off market until April 30th, 2025, because the client is building a brand new home, whatever, right? And so you can do that. You just have to make sure and follow through with both parts. You have to submit it to the MLS and you have to have your MLS exclusion form signed, right? There used to be this form that pops up when you click that button. It used to be a paper form and you'd fill it out and have your client sign it. Form doesn't exist anymore, so make sure and do your ERS addendum in order to make sure that it's signed, okay? If you need help on the wording on how to do that addendum, let me know.
Wait, what doesn't exist anymore?
Beth, why did they do this? This is so much work. And apparently I'm the only one that does this, according to you. That
You are the only
gets-
one that does it, Shelley.
I'm so happy for myself, but it's so much more work now than what it used to be. So anyway, I'm just complaining. I know you're not the complaining person. I'll call someone else and complain, but I always get an exclusive right to sell way before because I don't want them to shop around. But you know, the paperwork is cumbersome.
I agree. Couldn't agree more. So unfortunately, it's not my call, it's MLS's.
So what were you saying, Jeff?
I don't know, what was the question?
You're saying they did away with a form?
Yeah, the paper form, there used to be a paper form called the MLS exclusion form. You would fill out, you would have signed, and then you would send that to the MLS. And they changed that to now be online. I don't know why.
So Jeff, in
So now
other
you have to
words,
do two things. You have to do 2 or 3 things when you used to do one.
Yep,
so we have to upload to IntelliAgent faster than put it
No.
on the MLS, or is it 48 hours after it's on the MLS for the IntelliAgent?
as soon as you have forms signed, right, you have 48 hours from when they're signed to have it on IntelliAgent.
Okay,
Now, if it's gonna be longer than that for the listing, then it may be in IntelliAgent before it's on the MLS.
right.
But on MLS, if they're doing stuff to the house, go ahead and get the listing and then fill out that one online form.
Fill out the online
That
form
it
and
won't go
do
over
it,
MLS till this date when they're ready.
yep, and do,
Okay.
an addendum to the ERS saying how long it's gonna be off market.
Jeff,
Yep,
you can publish it to the MLS, but you have to put its status as active no-show.
you can do that as well. You can put it
That's
as.
another
active
way.
MLS.
But then you're getting
People
days
are
on
gonna
market.
bomb
No,
it.
That's how the MLS told me to do it.
Active MLS, active no-show does not accumulate days on market.
Okay, so wouldn't that be the easiest way to do it?
Could be.
I can think the seller would get mad at people bombing in on us, but.
Oh, people
Just
might.
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They
they
don't-
say,
If
we
they
do
just
not want them in the
read the
MLS,
listing, like it's on there.
then you do not put it in the MLS, period.
Yep. So it just depends on your client.
When did they change that? I think before. Is that recent?
2 months ago.
Changed it in March because it was like the day after it changed. I found out and I was calling Jeff and he was trying to figure out from Fathom what we want and figuring out the verbiage. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Hey, another thing I want to say is if
Clients issue, real estate purchase contract. You've all seen this. This is the top of the real estate purchase contract. If you haven't ever seen this before, it means you've never done a deal. I hope you've seen it, right? Or you've gone through school and read it. So, want to point out this part. This talks about the earnest money. It says after acceptance of the REPC by the buyer and seller, and receipt of the earnest money by the brokerage, us, has 4 days to deposit that earnest money into the brokerage real estate trust account. What's the issue?
We don't have
Goes to
one.
title.
you
and
don't
We
have
have-
a trust account.
We have a trust account. We do not use our trust
There
account,
we go.
right? And so we do not deposit money into our trust account. So if you have this signed and you do not include a deposit of earnest money addendum, your buyers are automatically in default of the contract immediately. Upon acceptance being signed, because you've told them that this is what we're gonna do, and we're not gonna do this, your clients are in default already. And that puts your client's earnest money at risk, right? So you have to, this is like, I deal with way too many of you that don't put this addendum in place. Make sure you put it in place. It's like vital for your clients. They've got to have this in place in order to protect them. I can't say strongly enough how important it is that you put a deposit of earnest money addendum with every single contract that you write. Now, if you're on the sell side, doesn't matter. Let the buyers do whatever they do. That's not your job. But if you represent buyers, make sure every single time that we have a deposit of earnest money addendum in that.
So if you're on the seller side, then you would be able to take a better offer and pull out and say, hey, no, you forgot to do this, the contract's not valid. If you're the listing agent and know that you could get a better offer, you could get out of it.
Maybe, yeah, if you know, so if this happened and this got accepted and you get an earnest money receipt from your buyer's agent showing it got deposited at title when they didn't have this, they've
could
deposited earnest money in the wrong way. It's a default. You can cancel the contract, take the earnest money and go with another offer.
Jeff, I'm confused. We don't, how do we fill that in?
No, you fill this in,
That addendum.
right? You fill it all in and then you add as addendum 1 every single time deposit of earnest money with title, showing where it's gonna be deposited,
Got it.
right? Which title.
And the
company you're
form
trying to-
deposit of earnest money.
That's the actual addendum name, yes, deposit of earnest money with title company addendum.
I know.
All right, just a few things we'll skim through. MLS news, just so that you know, things that have happened on the MLS. They just introduced their new MLS mobile app, which was, Tim Reynolds called me like right after it came out and it wasn't working at all. I think it's now working. I hate their mobile app. I don't, even the new one, but feel free to use it. I prefer just to use it in my browser, the MLS in my browser on my phone or on my iPad. But you're welcome. The new app's out. Also, as part of your MLS fees, you now have access to Rent Spree. Rent Spree, if you have tenants, tenant occupied properties that you manage for yourself because you can't property manage for other people. But if you have that, this helps with tenant screening. So it's a good thing if you have your own personal rentals. New feature property lists. So you now have the ability on the MLS to save property lists. If you're saving properties for specific clients that you want to refer back to, or if you have certain lists like a neighborhood or whatever that you want to keep track of those properties in, this is a way that you can do that. You now have the ability to search for electric vehicle charging stations. So if you've got a client who has a Tesla, they've got to have a charging station in the garage. You can now search for that. And if you have that in a listing that you're putting up, make sure and check it. Dedicated ADU. So you will see now that you can see if a property has an ADU and all the statistics that go with that. So that's an important one.
So with the ADU, I've noticed that if a house has 3 bedrooms and the ADU has 2, I would think you would make the listing 5, but I've seen that it just says 3 and then down below it says the 2. And I'm like, that could easily get missed. So
I
it should
guess
be
if you're
listed
not
as
watching
5.
what you're supposed to watch.
But it should be listed as 5, shouldn't it? Or should it be
Not
listed as
necessarily.
3 plus 2 in the ADU? How should it be listed?
Yeah, it should be listed 3 and 2.
It should be listed separate.
I have a question. So what exactly does ADU mean? Like,
Accessory dwelling
I
unit.
know, but does that mean it's not the basement with its own entrance?
Could be.
Yeah.
Okay,
It could be the
separate
garage
building.
with an apartment above
okay,
it.
or it could be by itself.
Mhm.
So are you still using mother-in-law, basement, like all those other ones?
So mother-in-law is not an ADU, right? So mother-in-law, you have to be related to the person in your basement. And it doesn't
Oh.
necessarily have to be a separate entrance or anything else.
Okay,
Right? An accessory apartment, that could be an ADU,
Okay.
most
Could
times
be.
is, right? And the other one is
Yeah, what's-
basement apartment, I think is what it is.
Okay.
Usually that is an ADU.
okay.
I went to a course recently. It's amazing I can remember this, and it was about ADUs. And really, according to code, it is in the basement. It has to have a separate entrance, and then the door going into the house from the ADU has to be like a door that would separate your home from the garage.
Okay.
And it's supposed to have its own circuit breaker. And yeah, and its own, I think its own control for heat climate control. Now, the problem is, most people that have a quote unquote ADU that they built in, they don't have that stuff, but.
And a fire rated door too.
Yeah, it has to be a fire rated door.
And
Yep.
farm
Oh.
parking.
Also, sorry, like in Provo, for example, there is certain parts of the city that they are allowed the ADUs, but not everywhere. So if you live in Indian Hills, for example, that's not an area that can have an ADU. So that's something that,
Yeah, ADU law, a lot of people think that the ADU law came out and said ADUs are now allowed anywhere and everywhere, and you can do it regardless of what the city or the HOA says. That's not the case, right? You still have to get approval. It just made ADU approval easier, is
Yeah.
what it did.
So what do
Okay,
you
you
list
like
it as
all-
if it's not got some of those things and you can't put it as an ADU? You just
Basement
write,
apartment, mother-in-law apartment.
you just write that in the
second-
map.
Yeah, there's check boxes for it.
Oh, for mother-in-law apartment.
and I also like if you're trying to find a property with an ADU, you can, it's supposed to make it easier to just put it there. But I mean, sometimes the people are just looking, oh, we're a family and my son lives downstairs and I live, and so you really don't need an ADU, you know?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know like the criteria specifically for the ADU.
So there is specific criteria, but I'll tell you that like everything else on the MLS, realtors get it wrong 90% of the time.
Okay.
So you just have to figure out what you actually need, yeah.
So you can like call the county, can't you? And
Yeah.
ask them like.
County or city.
Yeah.
It's- Depending on where it
Or you
says
can look
county
it
or
up
city.
on the city websites, they usually have them where they.
Yep, zoning laws.
But
So,
can you rent it out if it's a mother-in-law apartment, or does it have to be
Has to be a
ADU to
You
rent
can
it
rent
out?
out a mother-in-law apartment to somebody who is related to you.
Oh, so to be able to rent it out to someone else,
Or
You
you
need
can
to
do it like
check.
Latinos do, you
That
just
might
don't
not
tell
work.
anybody and you still rent it.
So I want to say for the loan,
Three kids.
you can actually count the ADU income.
Yes.
75% of ADU income.
In-house.
Yeah, so
Oh.
if you have an owner occupied, living upstairs. And it's verified with the city that it's a legit ADU.
Yeah, it's a great program. So if you've got a legit ADU, if you've got a legitimate ADU and I'm buying it, I can use 75% of the rental income that I will be getting to qualify for.
Yeah, that's with any conventional.
Oh, and guess what? There was a lender at this class I was in, and he said, you don't even have to have someone in there.
No,
Actually,
you don't have to.
rent. You don't have to
It's just the
document it, you
potential.
just say, I got an ADU and you know,
It's the
rent
potential.
600.
Yeah.
And it's-
I mean, you still have to pay the mortgage, but.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I have a question and it's not about ADU, but it's about on the MLS, and I ran into this problem. I had clients under contract. It was listed as a townhouse. And when we went to, and I mean, I looked at like all of the previous MLS listings and they all said townhouse.
And it was
Then when we
actually
went to
zoned
the
as a
lender, it
condo.
was actually a condo.
Mhm.
And so I looked at the tax ID and it was like, it says townhouse and then it says condo, and I was like, well, so who do I ask? How do I know, is it really a townhouse? Is it really a condo? I looked at my own home in American Fork on my tax record. It says SFR, right, single family resident / condo.
Mhm.
I
I mean,
live
it's
in
a
a
condo.
single.
Most condos are actually zoned that way, SFR condo. So that it is a single family residence,
Right.
right? It's not multifamily resident, and
Right.
it is a condo.
Yeah.
But to know what your property is zoned, check with title every single time. That's how you're gonna know. And I would look at the county records and see what it is. If you've got townhouse on one and condo on the other, I would call title and say, where are
So
we?
that would be
actually
the
at
best
this?
to go to title.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, I was like, I don't live in a condo. I mean, we have a single family home. It's a huge neighborhood. It's the older neighborhood in American Fork. It's like, why is it listed that way? I have no idea.
It's the classification that the builder zoned it at with the city when it was built.
Oh, like it, because it could have had a condo there.
It
Well,
may have
they
just
allowed
been the way that it was constructed.
Or
may
the
have put it
intro,
in
yeah.
there.
That
Yeah.
could be with it.
Yeah. Okay, last one on, I think last MLS one is, RV electrical hookups. If you got somebody with a big RV and they need electrical hookups, that's available to search now on the MLS as well. Want to remind you, I've been putting it out forever. Summit 2024 coming up in November. It's the Sahara, in Las Vegas. It'll be a great conference. Pricing on that, $650 for one person. If you can't afford that all in one go, there is a payment plan, $250 over 3 payments. Pay a little bit more if you pay payment plan, but it is available. And my personal guarantee, if you go to Fathom Summit and you hate it and it sucks and you don't get anything out of it, I'll pay for your ticket. That's how much I believe it'll be good.
What's
So
the date?
sign it up November 12th and 13th, I believe. 11th, 12th and 13th.
What do they cover while it's there?
We don't have
Money?
the speakers
got it.
up. But typically it's everything real estate marketing.
Are there discounts at the main hotel if you stay there?
$59 room block. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've got a whole block there. Probably not. I think those are the basement ones.
Basement.
Yeah. Fathom Serves, guys, coming up June 6th. This is where I guilt you in to please go and provide service to the community. So for those of you who don't know, I'm actually having surgery on the 5th on my leg. And so I will not be able to I have a cyst in my leg inside a nerve. It's like a whole thing, if you ever want to hear the story. But in any case, I won't be able to be there on the 6th. Lots of people have said, hey, what can I do for you because you're having surgery? This is what you can do. Go volunteer. Because I can't be there. Yeah, so I can't be there. So just
Still do for us when you're.
Yeah. So June 5th, I will probably be unavailable and Don will probably answer your calls. On June 6th, I will probably be back available and answering your calls. So.
Well, if you bring your propofol, you come out of it real fast.
Yeah.
Unless your
I
Michael.
might, yeah, who knows? Guys, fall scholarships are back. So this fall season coming up, the Fathom will be offering 10 scholarships for agents, children or grandchildren of agents. All you have to do is go apply. The applicant will write an essay saying why they want the scholarship. And then they'll get a $1,500 check that they can use in any way, shape, or form. We've had several people, including Maya, win the scholarship. And so it's not super hard, but
Is that
totally worth
10
it.
for Utah?
So, no, it's 10 for Fathom in general.
Oh, gee, she got.
But
lucky
we've
to
had,
win
I
one.
think we've had in Utah, I think we've had 6 winners over the past 2 years. So.
I'm telling my son right now.
Yeah, so go to fathominc.com scholarship. It'll give you all the details. The deadline is July 31st. If for some reason you have interest in wanting to actually be part of the committee that selects which one of the winners, who the winner is, you can do that and be part of the review committee. Just let me know, I'll get you those details. When they write their their essay, they can't put their name in it, so you can't go and look for Lisa's nephew. Yearly dues, I already talked a little bit about this, but dues are due. So dues are due and will be on time as long as they're paid before the end of June. $930 for UCAR and $911 or something like that for Salt Lake Board.
Hey, yes.
How do I pay it? Should I be getting an email?
I'm hoping you don't pay so I can kick you out, but for the rest of you, you should get an email, but you can just go to UCAR, the online UCAR, and click on the button, or you can go to Salt Lake Board. If you're part of Salt Lake Board and you pay early, you might win a car. I covered up the yellow button because I don't want you to know what that is. So if you're interested, go look at that. But
Jeff, they sent the email last week.
yeah, emails went out last week. So I've already paid all 3 of my board dues in Utah. So make sure and pay those. If you're having issues, come talk to me and I'll tell you about ways that you can move to other brokerages and other things. If you do not pay by August 31st, that's my sad day. I actually have to kick you out of the brokerage. So just know.
Do you get an audit list? Like
I
how
do,
you-
yeah,
do you
August
get that?
31st.
Oh,
August
August?
31st, I get the list from all the boards saying, here are the people who did not renew their dues. You are now required to kick them out of the brokerage.
So how do I thought I paid this, but I don't see the either. Confirming it.
I don't know. Call your board.
Okay.
Yeah, call your board and check if you paid it or not. If I like you, and if I don't, then don't call. Upcoming classes and meetings, June 6th is Fathom Serve, which we talked about. June 12th, CE class due diligence, 2 hours of core right here. June 19th is our normal forms and legal Zoom class. June 25th, if you're part of the pool party, that's June 25th, that's number 1. If you're part of the pool party and have questions, stay after. Maya would like to talk to you for about 5 minutes, so just sit tight for a minute. And our next team meeting, there will be a free churro truck. So feel free to come. Questions about anything, comments, anything we didn't cover? Okay, have a good day. Oh, thank your cleaning crew guys from Cove Cleaning. They're the ones that gave you the food in the break room, and so go get some food, enjoy, hang out. And say hi to these guys. If you have listing needs or whatever photography, talk to Kelsey Photography. Thanks, guys.